The head of Etihad Aviation Group is also confident that a recovery is round the corner, and a strong one at that. Tony Douglas told me he's a born optimist when it comes to getting international travel going again.
In the world of aviation, I think it was the most challenging year in history, 2020. And as a born optimist, I certainly hope things will get a lot better in 2021 and onwards. But we have to be realistic. You know, COVID is a pandemic, the likes of which none of us have seen before. And Etihad, as an example, from August of last year, became the first airline in the world, and still is today the first airline in the world, that implemented 100% PCR testing for everybody at point of origin and point of arrival. So you literally couldn't get on board unless we could assure you of your wellness, but also you could be assured of everybody else who was on board had undertaken equivalent set of testing. Now, the question you ask, of course, I think takes us into the next phase. So if this was the metaphor of the Chinese New Year, if 2020 was the year of the PCR, I think 2021 will be the year of vaccine.
Right.
And as vaccine becomes now more industrially available, what we've already started to see is the benefit, of course, of the vaccination programme. And I think going forward, that's going to be a big part to the return to normal travel.
Obviously, you're still seeing numbers highly depressed, but are you seeing any sign of a return in numbers that might give one cause for optimism, other than the fact that we know a vaccine is now here?
So for the last 2 months, we've seen a very, very slow improvement in the situation in terms of passenger numbers. So in one sense, the line's going in the right direction. But of course, you know, we wake up, everybody wakes up every morning, and the media tells us that there's a problem in another country, there's been an upturn somewhere else, and so on and so forth. So this really is a moving target. It's very, very dynamic indeed. And I think realistically, this could well be a challenge for the best part of all of 2021 until vaccines really take more of a hold and create a fire break.
Pandemic aside, as you look, because obviously you're planning now for this year, next year, and thereafter, can you see a profitable Etihad? A really profitable. I'm not talking about funny profitable. A really profitable Etihad.
Absolutely, yes, Richard. And I think, you know, for the financial analysts out there, if they look even at our 2019 results, it was $600 million EBITDA. So against the transformation program we were going through, we were well on the way. We had a target for a complete turnaround by 2023. So we understood that this was a long game. It was never, you know, a black and white stick, abracadabra. It required, you know, forthright action and, frankly, damn hard work and a complete redesign of the business model. COVID's got in the way, and obviously the negative and the positive. The negative, obviously, our revenues have been significantly impacted, as I indicated last year, and still they currently are, quite obviously. The positive, perhaps, you know, your earlier point, the old cliche, never waste a good crisis. We've used every opportunity to fundamentally establish a different set of foundations for Etihad. And whilst obviously there's no end in sight immediately to COVID, we're still confident 2023, 2024 will be where we said we were going to be.